Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with some more Paragon gameplay and Paragon tips. And today we are going to be talking about how to come back in a game. Now, this is probably the most requested, like literally ever. People always talk about how do you come back from being steamrolled? How do you come back from having an inhibitor down? Especially late game when everybody's max build. How do you do it? And I'm going to give you guys step-by-step kind of breakdown. Now, understand that there are a couple of, nuances that go into this. It is very difficult to come back in the game. You're not going to be able to come back every single time, even if you do follow the steps perfectly. It just depends on the game itself. But a little bit of intro to the game itself. We're actually playing against a 5-stack of diamonds, including J. Leo and Reflect. So you guys probably know who those people are if you follow the Paragon community a little bit. Be Certified is in there as well. And then Dual Spirals as well as Pookie Face, who is actually a streamer. So it's, very high-level gameplay against a team that knows what they're doing. They're really good players, all of them. And it's just me and my boy Mustard. We actually duo-queued into a bunch of people, and we ended up playing really, really well as a team, and we did end up coming back. So as you guys saw, we actually lost that team fight in the middle, and we lost an inhibitor. So if you look at the map, we are the orange team, okay? The enemy is the blue team, just so you understand. And the very first thing, what happens when you lose an inhibitor is to make sure that you have Orb Prime control. That is what's going to save you, obviously, is being able to take Orb Prime as quick as possible and get your inhibitor back. Now, we're actually able to pick off some enemies here around Orb Prime, and that's going to give us the advantage here while Greystone locks down the area, letting the rest of us attack Orb Prime and take it, and then end up securing it and dunking it in our well, which will then allow us to get our inhibitor back. The more time you waste getting your inhibitor back or coming back, the less successful you will be. Now, in general, when we're not talking about inhibitors, if you're just behind in general when it comes to level or farm, you just have to try your best and farm up, meaning you just focus on minions as much as you can, or get picks when you can as a team. Because if you're going on a 5-on-5 team fight and every single person on the other side has 6 more CP than every single person on your side, they're already going to have the advantage. So you have to fight within the safety of your own tower. You have to fight within the reaches of your own jungle, and so to speak. You have to be very, very defensive and just farm up and just be very, very patient. If you see a kill, don't chase it, don't challenge it. Just back up, be patient, and try and farm up as much as you can and work as a team together. Now, even though the majority of our teammates die here in that confrontation, we do end up getting the orb, which is the most important thing in the situation, because now we can go dunk it in our own well and get our inhibitor back, and then it'll be a clean slate. And all that work, all that effort that the enemy team just tried and just, failed at, it's now going to be for naught. And it's actually going to give you guys some extra time. Now, they did push the core, realizing that we had 3 down. They were going to push the core, but the last 2 people that were on our team played really, really good defense, ended up killing the enemy and pushing them off of our core. And our core was less than 50%. So it was, this is the ultimate comeback right here, guys. This is straight out an inhibitor down, blah, 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 if I could talk. An inhibitor down, core below 50%, and we were still able to dunk it and come back from this. And that's why I'm showing you guys the full gameplay. This is uncut. I'm showing you guys gameplay. Some of it's sped up, some of it's not. But basically, the most important thing is to have Prime control. And that's just the biggest thing that you guys are going to see again later on in this video, because we get Prime a second time in a row. That is the most important thing. Prime is the most important buff in the game, and having control of it is very, very important. Now here, I would go help my teammate out, but I don't want to die and feed the enemy team. And that's another thing, that's another tip, is that especially late game, especially when you're behind, you have to avoid dying as much as possible, okay? Even if it means having a teammate of yours die, only one person dying is better than 2 people dying. But hey, guess what? Our Greystone's a maniac, and he actually juked the hell out of the enemy team long enough for some more of our teammates to show up, and now we're actually going to engage, because now the enemy team used their abilities, they're all weak, and now we can go in and actually deal some damage. So you're going to see me here attack this Decker, kill this Decker. Okay, we're going to end up killing the Grux, and then we're going to kill, we're going to kill the Rampage too. And now, using that momentum, we're able to push up a bit more. So it's all about timing, okay? Late game, if you miss your 30-second window, that could be the last opportunity you have of winning the game. So as soon as we get those kills, we push on forward. Okay, we just got 3 kills, so we push on forward. My teammates go ahead and push that right side while I grab black buff, again being in control of the black buff, just like I said in my jungler guide. And I split push middle with my teammate as Grux, because Grux is really good at split pushing, and I actually end up getting this inhibitor all on my own because melee heroes do not deal cleave damage on enemy heroes while they are hitting structures. So that is why I'm not pulling aggro, even though normally I would be dealing damage to the Grux that is right in my face. So there we go. Tower inhibitor rather is down. The entire team is focused on me. While they're focused on me, my teammates over here are pushing this right, and now we got them on their heels. And this is how you stage a comeback. You change the momentum, you switch it up, and then you bring it over to your side. Now, the nuances that I want to go over real quick that can either make or break your comeback is A, your teammates' performance, obviously, and just how well you guys perform together as a team. And that also includes minimizing your teammates and your own mistakes. Making sure that you don't F up anything in the team fights. Making sure that your rotations and timing is on fleekadeek. Alright, making sure that everything is perfect. And also, this also has to be paired with the enemy messing up, okay? This has to be paired with the enemy messing up. Like you guys saw back when we first got Orb Prime and we caught out the enemy Grux. That was the enemy Grux messing up and being caught out of position, which gave us the big advantage in taking that Orb Prime and winning that team fight. And here, again, this is now going to be us messing up, okay? We all focused the Rampage too hard. The Rampage jumps away, and now I missed my pull on the Rampage because I got too greedy. I should have used it on Murdoch. Murdoch is going to end up destroying me, and we're going to end up losing this team fight now because of that mistake. And again, the momentum's going to switch now over to their side. And the reason I picked this gameplay is, one, this is just like the best comeback gameplay that I've had in a very long time. Also against top diamond players, and also the diamond players on the other side were also doing things that you would normally do in a comeback. They were reciprocating what we were doing. So this is just going to show you even more examples of how you have to play. Now, when you have an inhibitor down and the enemy is pushing your tower, your inhibitor, you just have to try your best to push them back like we did at our core. Even if it's at our core, you still have to try your best. And again, like I said, guys, 90% of the time, you won't be able to make that comeback happen unless all the stars align at once and everything falls into place. So again, this isn't going to 100% work, but this is the best possible way. Fight them off when they're attacking you. Get Orb Prime as quick as possible. Get your inhibitor back and counter and try your best to win a team fight. You're not going to be able to do anything at all unless you kill at least 2 or 3 of the enemy heroes, and that's usually only going to happen in a team fight, especially at higher elos when all fights are team fights, especially at this late stage in the game. So again, you guys just need to have everything go your way, but at the same time, also realize that, hey, you know, it's not that hard to come back. You just have to have a little bit of motivation and just be smart and not, you know, catch yourself out. And try your best to catch the other enemies out. You're going to see me be here in this shadow pool for a really long time, okay? This is sped up. You're going to see me stay here for a good while, and I'm actually going to end up catching the enemy off guard and dealing a good amount of damage. And that's just, you know, using your intuition, using your smarts. Try to think about different ways of being able to get the jump on your enemies and doing stuff that you're, you know, not used to. And again, you know, guys, wards, all right? If you have an inhibitor down, you guys have to make sure you put down wards in those long corridors that are entering and exiting the jungle, all right? The ones that are right next to the inhibitors. You guys know what I'm talking about. You have to put wards deep in them so you can see when people are trying to backdoor you. Now, this is perfect because what Mustard King did here is he got black buff, and he was on his way to distract the enemy because he wanted to backdoor the core with black buff, and he was pinged on the enemy ward. So that made the enemy change their, you know, target onto Mustard King, which was enough of a distraction for us to get Orb Prime again, okay? Because we know since their inhibitor is down, they want that Orb buff. They want Prime. So we need to have control of it. We need to take it for ourselves. And we were actually just planning on letting the timer run out, and that's okay. time is now on your side when the enemy does not have an inhibitor. So again, guys, the biggest tip is to be in control of Orb Prime. Now I just want to go over some tips that are separate from the actual inhibitor down scenario, and just general. Let's say it's mid-game and you guys are down 10 kills or something, and the enemy has like 6, 9 CP ahead of you on everything. Like I said, guys, the best way to come back is just to freeze lanes if you're a ranger like Sparrow, and try to farm the best you can. When the enemy pushes towers, when they challenge towers, your teammates have to be with you and together, and you have to win with numbers at that point. You are not going to be able to beat someone one-on-one if they have more CP than you. Obviously, they're going to have more equipment, cards, and more upgrades than you, so you're not going to be able to beat them. Which is why it's important to use the strength in numbers and play with your teammates. And right here, they destroyed our inhibitor, but because our Greystone was right next to our well already, he just dunked it back in, and our inhibitor's back up, and that's it. And then they were trapped, and they had nowhere to go. And we killed them in our base, and now we're pushing up because we have the advantage, and this is going to be the final set of confrontations here in their core. Now, the Rampage tries really hard to kill me. If you guys notice how little health I have there at the bottom of the screen, is so funny. I had literally 100 health left. This is so hilarious. I'm gonna end up killing the Rampage. Really funny stuff. But yeah, again, you guys have to use strength in numbers and just work together. Try to get picks if you can, because those are always easy CPs, and just play objectively, alright? Towers also give CP to the entirety of all of your teams, so make sure you're on top of that as well. And like I said, guys, I want to remind you all, so you don't come back complaining to me in this video that it didn't work, 90% of the time, you're not going to be able to come back if the other team is experienced enough and or your teammates are just not that good. So, there you guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yes, I know I smack my lips a lot. I'm sorry. I get fucking dehydrated. You try talking for 12 minutes straight. I'm just playing, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure you all have a wonderful day.